Welcome to the Route 422 Business Advisor Show. I am here today at beautiful Colonial Gardens with the owner, Eric Schmidt. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you, Patty.
Good to have you.
Oh, great to be here.
And it's so nice on this gorgeous day sitting amongst all these beautiful flowers. You couldn't ask for a better setting, right?
Oh yeah, this is the best day we've had in a while.
I agree with you. So Colonial Gardens, you're an independent garden center located right by 724, right up from Route 23 in Phoenixville. You've been serving the local communities since 1967. So, wow, that's a long time, and you've gotten bigger and better. Tell us a little bit about how you got started and how you've grown over the years.
Well, my father purchased the property in 1967 and while he was working at GE as an aerospace engineer. And he ran it for 2 years with another engineer, and then he bought it out completely, and ever since then it's been in the family. So me, my 4 brothers, we all worked here, and
Okay.
my 2 children have worked here, and many of the family. It's gone from being a small operation to a fairly large one. It originally started as about a 800 square foot building with a 400 square foot greenhouse, and now we have over 4,000 square feet of greenhouse, and
Wow.
we're up to 10 acres of property. So quite a bit of growth in our store, and of course in the area since then.
Yeah, I think you're one of the very biggest, if not the biggest, in the area.
Yes, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Our goal is to reach the top 100 garden centers in the nation, and we were far from that in the beginning.
Wow,
of
it's a
our
big
times.
goal.
It is.
And good for you for doing that. So, as you can see, your plant selection includes, it's huge. Over 500 varieties of trees and shrubs, over 100 species of native plants. I'm a lover of gardening, but this is a lot. Over 300 varieties of edible plants, thousands of perennials and annuals. I know we got Mother's Day coming up this week. So tell us a little bit about your inventory and how it compares to other garden centers in the region.
So initially we were very much a local Phoenixville operation, and we were happy to serve Phoenixville, Spring City, Royersford, Pottstown. We're definitely much more now a regional garden center where we get people actually that come from not only southern Chester County, but sometimes New Jersey or Delaware.
Wow.
And so we realized somewhere in our creation here that we had to be not good at stuff, we had to be the best at what we were carrying. So we seek to make it so it's hard for you to go to another garden center, because you could have came here first and found out that we had 100 varieties of flowering trees just in red buds alone, 20 varieties of red buds. You say, I want hydrangeas, which everybody does. And if I said, during the course of the season, we'll have 50 varieties of hydrangeas, you said, well, why would I have gone somewhere else?
Right.
If you said, I want tomato plants, and we said, well, we have 50 varieties of tomato plants, we probably should have started here first. And that's our goal, and it's a good quality of material. We always emphasize that, but the service also helps you get to that spot where you can get that right plant for the right spot.
Nice, nice. So you've got, I didn't even know there were that many varieties of hydrangeas and whatnot, red buds.
Yeah. So somebody asked, do you have a crepe myrtle? And you say, yes, we have 20 varieties during the season.
Wow.
Which one do you want? And
Yeah. So are some of them better for like this, acclimated to this climate, and some better for like needing more or less water? Because I know we had a little bit of a shortage of water the last year or so.
Well, we have so many varieties that really we try to evaluate your position as a customer, what you need. So it's that plant right spot, but some of them it's the height and the width. So
Right.
often we say define your space. Some of it's the sun versus the shade.
Correct.
So some hydrangeas do better in the sun, some do better in the shade.
Yeah.
Some of them it's are
Morning
they deer
sun.
resistance? Do they take morning sun or afternoon sun? Those factors will have a choice. Do I want a Wigelia that grows 2 feet tall? Do I want a Wigelia that grows 3 feet tall? Do I want one that grows at 5 feet tall? Well, we would have those choices, and that helps you to create as creative of a landscaping as you could possibly want
Yeah,
to.
it's good to know, because I know we all make mistakes, and I put things in that I thought were going to be bigger, and I didn't read, and it was a dwarf, and then I go, oh boy. So it's good to know, and it's good to get somebody who can help you with the design of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, how about deer resistant? I know you just touched on that. do you have a lot of shrubs and perennials and annuals that are deer resistant? Because I know there's a lot of deer these days.
Yeah, it may be our number one issue when we're going to do a landscape.
Right.
People ask many questions. I want the low maintenance. I want lots of color. I want something for the shade. And the first thing I have to get to is, do you have deer?
Yeah.
Well, you could live in downtown Phoenixville, and there are deer in downtown Phoenixville. So we kind of establish how tough that herd is, and then we do have sections of just deer-resistant perennials, and we have deer-resistant shrubs. We have, to a certain extent, trees. Usually just need to be protected from being rubbed. But yes, it's a huge question. It goes into every one of our designs, thoughts, and service elements with the customer. Now, we say deer-resistant. Last winter, deer-resistant wasn't deer-proof because there were starving deer out there,
Yeah.
but they helped to at least limit the damage.
Yep. Yeah. Put a salt block like they used to say.
Yes.
So I know we've got Mother's Day coming up, and that's a big time when people like to come out and buy annuals and shrubs, and you have beautiful planters over there. Tell us a little bit. You're all stocked up for the Mother's Day rush?
So there's never enough plants on Mother's Day. It's the busiest day, busiest week of the year, really. Traditionally, we brought in 6 tractor-trailer loads of plants just this week alone. So we already had a full inventory, and then we beefed it up. We'll have 500 varieties of hanging baskets around here so that we don't run out.
Wow.
Our annuals will overflow our 5,000 square feet of greenhouse coverage and go out the back. Our perennials, we just beefed up as much of the selection as possible with as much as in bloom as can be done. We start that ordering a couple weeks in advance, trying to accumulate inventory, because the demand will often surpass the supply. In our case, that will never happen.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine, because everybody's got to get mom a gift, and it's a special time, and after that brutal winter that we had, people like to go, I need something pretty in the yard.
Yes.
Yeah, just some eye candy, as they say. So in addition to your extensive plant selection, you keep busy throughout the year, I know, with family-friendly events, like you do hay rides and a Christmas light show. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I mean, you have so many different things here.
Yeah, some years back, about 1990, we started to do some haunted hay rides, and we've already been doing day hay rides, and we realized how important it was to balance our year. To have a reason to come here in the spring was easy.
Yeah.
It's May, I want flowers, I want vegetables, that's easy. At Christmas, it was, I'm gonna get a Christmas tree, and then there was a lot of nothing in the season. So we realized that if we were to be relevant in this market or the future markets, we had to have more. It had to be a family place that you wanted to go to 3, 4, 5 times a year. So the spring, it's easy to figure out how to come here, why you would come here.
Right.
But you come here in the summer, and all of a sudden we have a butterfly festival where we have close to 3,000 people show up for one day here for our butterfly release. And then October, we're going to have close to 12,000 people coming for our hay rides, day and night. And then we added our Christmas light show about 10 years ago, and that's added a terrific another dimension to December, where we get 8,000 to 10,000 people here to do our light show.
Right.
And they're all based on, they're family friendly, they're not expensive for what the market price is, and you can be in and out of here in a couple hours, free parking. We try to manage it so that you can come here, have a good time, and leave without feeling that you spent too much, that you had to spend 5 hours. We're not Longwood Gardens, but we're a place that you can feel like you got some of that experience without the price and without spending 6 hours in the experience.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, it's so relaxing to come and see beauty and flowers and just be amongst this. You know, it's a stress reliever. It's just walking through this.
We are the customer's happy place. So we're not the drugstore where you need to get it. We're not the grocery store where you go and you have to get bread and milk. The only thing we have that they have to have is happiness. So when they come in here, generally speaking, we have the happiest customers in the world coming through here, because when they're here, this is their safe, happy spot. You may not think you need a plant, but you do need happiness, and we are a solution for a lot of people.
Yeah. So speaking of happiness and all that, you will also offer several options for landscaping services. From DIY projects, you can come in here and say, I'm going to try and do this myself, but you also do full-scale landscape design and installations by your professionals. And can you just elaborate? I know you did one for me years ago, and I had gotten a pool with a little waterfall, and I have to say, Eric personally came out and you designed it, and it was beautiful for years until I moved. And the choices you made were just optimal for the location, because we were full sun. And it really makes a difference when you hire somebody as opposed to sometimes try and figure it out, even if you think you know what you're doing. So just tell us a little bit about that.
We'll often say that we're the third or fourth person that you come to for landscaping. The first one may be, or may have been your first experience, was the package the builder gave you. And the second one is, you know what, we have a guy who mows the lawns and he's a landscaper, but he doesn't really have plant knowledge, so he does the install. And then you go, you know what, I can get on the internet and I can research it myself and put all the variables together. And then you do it and you say, that didn't work out. And then you come to us and we always say, you would have saved a lot of money if you came to us in the first place. You know, I've been doing this for 54 years myself, and I've been to about 3,000 houses, and it's really helpful to help that customer get the right plant, the right space, the right spacing. We generally are very insistent on getting plants far enough apart so they can grow together over time versus overcrowding.
Right.
Our designs generally have about 20% less plants than many of our competitors because we're not trying to squeeze too many plants in the spot and overcharge you. And also we keep in mind all the variables we talked about. People want landscapings that have color year-round, low maintenance, deer resistant, and attract pollinators would be a new one. So we try to make all those part of the factors without you having to figure it out. So you can come in here and meet with John, who does a lot of DIY people, or me, or Zach, our head of our crew chief in landscaping, who also design work, and we're happy to get that right for you and really save you money.
Yeah. Yeah, and you talked about spacing. That's so important because I remember what you did for us. You spaced just so appropriately so that I could add annuals just for a splash of color. And I think I was there 14 years and nothing ever became overcrowded. It was just perfectly done.
No, thank you.
And good for the full sun.
Yeah, good landscaping is going to have several elements. It's going to have evergreen shrubs, so you have that year-round presence. It's going to have flowering shrubs that give you a 2-week, sometimes a 6-week, sometimes an 8-week bloom.
Yeah.
It's going to have some perennials that give you varying colors at different times. And then the last part you should almost always have is some annuals.
Right.
And I said it's like a good salad. A good salad wouldn't be lettuce, and that's it. It would be all those things that make a salad good, or what makes a landscaping. You need all components, and you need to leave the customer have a little space to do some themselves.
Oh, sure. So it's also good to mix textures, right?
Huge part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
People look at, they often look at the flowers and try to coordinate the colors. Well, of course, they happen at different times. But leaves and textures and colors of leaves have been one of the increasing trends in landscaping, where you can often get a sharper leaf texture, smoother, softer. You don't want to have everything pruned tight and looking all identical. So we'll often have a boxwood next to something called a nandina, but it's a feathery texture next to a formal texture.
Right.
And then we'll have the flowers with a daisy next to a spiked flower, much like a floral arrangement would be.
Right.
So you try to work each of those from the layering up to down. Size of color of flower, shape of flower matters, and then all those things are factors that we kind of do somewhat instinctually, it looks like, but really very purposely, and
Right.
it is helpful if you can have that in your design. You'll understand it when you see it in your yard.
Right.
It's hard to put that together by yourself.
Oh, sure is. And whether you want like a whimsical look or a formal look or, you know, a traditional look or more of a modern look, you all can kind of lay that out, because I know some of the younger people might say, oh, I just want something real modern and sleek and very low maintenance, and somebody like me would want whimsical, you know, eye candy, lots of English gardens. So you guys can do pretty much anything.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that really helps is we can hear you and listen to you and get to your wants and needs, but also say no when we should say no to you. Like that's not the right plant for that spot, it's going to get too big.
Yeah.
And help you get what you want, but not make the mistakes that are easy to make. Because when you come here and you see 20 varieties of Japanese maple, then you say, I want a Japanese maple. I said, but which one, which spot, why, and how do we plant it?
Yeah.
So we're going to get you there, and you can tell us what you want, and we're going to get you there.
It's nice to know. Very nice to know. So I know with all this that we're sitting amongst in the garden center with all the beautiful annuals and herbs and things like that, you also have a full service florist for custom arrangements. Is that correct?
Oh yes. We've had that. We actually used to have a florist in Pottstown also by the Hill School, but now we're down to the single location, and it's been growing quite a bit in the last 3 years. We've grown about 50% in our floral business. Do a lot of custom arrangements, not only for weddings and funerals and proms, but also for events. We can not only do and we do a lot on DoorDash, so that's actually a big part of our business. But also we can rent out the plants we have here often for somebody that wants something for their mother or a gift. They say, oh, I want the florist, and but I want a hanging basket, and often we'll combine the two features. So it's a very unique thing. We're a florist sitting on $500,000 in inventory that isn't just fresh flowers. So if you said you wanted a planter, they could put fresh flowers in a planter, but we would have a full selection of greenhouse plants, and or you wanted a hydrangea, you want that, and we could beef it up with other things. So the ability to do many things is very helpful for us as a business and is an advantage to us as florists.
Yeah, that's nice. You also have gifts too. So if you're shopping here and you're getting your flowers, and let's say you have a birthday,
Yes.
you can also go into the gift shop, and you have some beautiful things in there for, anything to boost up the elegance of your home or outside of your home, which is nice. Some hardscaping too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're trying to the gift shop has always been a part of our business, and gifts go up and down because you can buy them on the internet, but here you get the touch and feel of the product here. I'm buying a good part of it myself when I go to the shows. It's a lot of it's focused towards garden theme type and garden wear stuff, and our Christmas shop, it's well worth visiting. During our light show, you have to come in. We'll have about 35 decorated Christmas trees at Christmas with different themes. So if you need an ornament or a theme, we're the place to go.
Poinsettias too?
Poinsettias, yes, most of them locally grown.
Right.
Some in Lancaster, some right down the road here in Parkersford. So we have a great selection of those, and some other things like cyclamen and Christmas cactus, and then we'll always have our foliage greenhouse always ready and willing to have plants coming in here any time of year. So in the winter, often after Christmas, they're in our greenhouse collecting plants that are safe for cats or help clean the air.
Yeah.
It's a big trend with so many apartments going up here and so many townhomes where you can't necessarily do as much outside. We have a lot you can do inside too.
Good. So there's something to do all year round in this
Yes.
industry. So do you have anything else you want to add, and can you tell our viewers where you can learn a little more about Colonial Gardens?
Well, you can go on our website, and it's colonialgardenspa.com. It's going to have a very detailed list of our offerings, often our plants. You can sign up for our newsletter there, and that often tells you which shipments are coming. That website will also show our events, and we have a constant event schedule going on here, from seminars to our Butterfly Festival to Halloween and Christmas. You can get most of your information there, but we encourage you really to get out of your house. So you're stuck in your house, and we want you to come here. If you get here, you'll kind of get it as soon as you get here. You'll walk and say, oh, it's bigger than I thought if you haven't been here. And if you came here today, you say, I am almost confused by the amount of selection. We create a lot of signs. We give a lot of service to try to get you to that right plant. But really, what you can't repeat is actually coming here and smelling the flowers, touching them, seeing the colors. It really changes your world to come out and get out of off your phone, off the internet, stop shopping online, come into a small business that's been involved with the community for years. We do so much with the community and a lot of the nonprofits here that we feel it's very important for everybody's well-being. If the community is doing well, if we're doing well, if our customers are doing well, we're all in a better world. And in this world we're in today, we need more of that.
Absolutely. So you're doing a good thing, and it's good to have a win-win, like you said, for the community, for the people helping out, and for yourselves. Yeah, so just a little bit about how we can get to, if you need the phone number here, it's 610-948-9755, www.colonialgardenspa.com. You can schedule a pickup or delivery of fresh flowers, houseplants, or gifts by visiting shopcolonialgardenspa.com. And I invite everybody to come on out, grab your mom, your aunt, your favorite neighbor, a beautiful something for Mother's Day, some herbs, a beautiful hanging plant, or just some nice annuals or perennials. So thank you so much for joining us today, Eric. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Patty. Nice seeing you again.
Nice seeing you too, and great talking about Colonial Gardens.